It's the best local sports show in Jacksonville. This is the Action Sports Jags Postgame Show, sponsored by Anajar and Levine, Accident Attorneys.
I don't know if I want to be a glass half full guy or a glass half empty guy today.
We got to fix this.
Thinking about
we got to get you all set, ready to go.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I just want to make
all
sure.
good. Thank you, though.
But I can't come too close to you. Remember.
But I'm not sure which way to go on this one because.
There's no moral victories in the NFL, they say.
Right.
But if I'm being honest with myself, if you told me 33-30 and to have a chance, I would have signed up for it.
And I'm going to say after 2 weeks now, I'm on board. I'm in. I'm into it. I'm excited about it. I'm enjoying the games.
Yes.
We haven't enjoyed the games in a while. And look, the Jags lost. You just watched it. Dan Hick and Brett Martineau here on. Where are we on Facebook? What are the platforms we're on? Roku, Apple?
Sure,
where are we?
Postgame show here on
our mobile app
here on Facebook.
So
we'll hear from Minshew and Marone hopefully soon.
Yeah, the Jags just lost 33-30, and it was such a fun game to watch until the end. And there were mistakes still, but when your offense can do what they can do, this is. I really feel like now we're like maybe more of a 8-8 type football. Every week I get a little bit more optimistic.
Yeah,
we'll
see.
I don't like losing the game.
We'll see. The next couple weeks will be big. You got Miami and Cincinnati. But first about this one, and I hear what you're saying. I think everybody's wrestling with this. You know, you're down 14 points. You're making mistakes on special teams where you're supposed to be pretty good.
Not supposed to make
They're
those.
kicking 51 and 49-yard field goals where they couldn't make anything last week. And they're running up and down the field on you. And Minshew brings them back. They throw for over 300. They're fun to watch. Robinson's good. He's over 100 or close to 100 yards. I don't think he touched it. But, I think he did get there, actually.
Yeah, he did get over. He got
over 100. So, I mean, there's a lot to like.
He got over 100 with a really strong second half, which is even more encouraging.
I tweeted this, Dan. I said, we have a fun football team in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yes.
It's a fun team. I've been here 12 years, man. It's not been fun. I mean, 17 was fun, but they've been disgusting to watch at times.
And my tweet, what I said at halftime, and I was curious to see all the responses, and there were a lot of them. Am I crazy? Or am I sitting here, despite their big gaffe at the end of the half with the Josh Lambo squib kick? Well, somebody's going to have to explain that one. Doug Marone will in a minute, and we'll have that for you. But am I crazy, or do I still feel like the Jags can win this game?
Yeah.
I haven't felt that way down 2 touchdowns at a half. And I'll tell you what I love about this team. Well, there's a lot of things. But offensively, Brent, when was the last time we had an offense that the quarterback could take the ball, go back to pass, and be very accurate with a little 8-yard pass, and the receiver would be like wide open? I mean, we used to sit there and go, why is it so hard for the Jags to complete a 4-yard pass, right? It's not hard anymore.
And some beautiful throws, too, and some plays that guys are going to make
some great
as well.
Play calls, some beautiful play designs, guys playing hard. The receivers are good.
I think what you're seeing, too, a little bit, and Jay Gruden especially, but I think Doug Marone deserves some credit because he told us that we'd like this team. He liked the team. He believed in the team.
Yes.
So I still believe you have to give the coaching some credit.
Yes.
Now, Todd Washer's going to not get any credit because he's obviously, they've got some issues on defense.
Defense isn't very good.
They're just not very talented yet on defense, especially compared to what we've seen.
Right.
And they're young, and they're going to make these big mistakes, but they made a couple of clutch plays. And they forced a field goal. On the last 3 possessions, they stopped them and forced a field goal. And so to your point, when they got the ball back with a minute and a half to go, no timeouts, I felt good about tying the game up.
Right.
I mean, I thought they were about to go tie the game up.
And through 7 quarters this year, on a negative side, the defense had allowed 1 punt. Forced 1 punt.
I think, that's
it. And then Kern today kicked it down to the 5. That was it, because Colts didn't punt last week.
Yep.
Then in the fourth quarter, you're right, they got a stop, and a field goal, which is pretty good stuff. And it was sort of reminiscent of what happened last week. And I thought, okay, here we go, because Minshew, man, that guy can make some things happen in the fourth quarter, and he finally we turned into a pumpkin at the very end with a tip pass and a pick.
I think there's this. I just put it on Twitter, and somebody kind of hammered me about it being too picky. I said, no, it's not really. If you look at the 2 or 3 plays that went wrong for Minshew, I think you could tell he was indecisive. And one thing he's very good at is being decisive. And on the sack play that he took them totally out of that possession, he was indecisive. On this play, he pump faked a couple of times from the pocket, which they already said that's a tall defensive line for the Titans. And he tried to throw it over the middle, and he just either let it go or don't. Right?
We gotta
live another down.
We got to find that balance, because I don't know if I want Minshew. He set a career high in completions. I don't know if I want him throwing it 45 times a game. I'm not sure.
Probably not, but that's more who they are.
Yeah.
You know, that is more who they are.
There are a lot of short passes.
Some of that then they needed at the end of the half, remember?
Yeah.
They had nothing. And a lot of those just add up because the end of the half they had no timeouts. They pushed it down the field. Even then they went down and kicked the field goal.
I think Chenault is now the backup running back too.
Well, he's fun to watch now.
So that's
he's fun
good.
to watch, and Jay Gruden uses him very nicely.
So I like that. Linder went down with a knee injury.
And I thought you didn't notice. Shatley played pretty well.
They ran the ball right up the middle, and that's where Robinson started to find some holes.
Yeah, so give him credit there. Listen, I feel like we're talking about a win almost. I mean, this has a moral victory kind of feel to it.
I'm still trying to figure out half full, half empty.
The bottom line here is this team looks to be better than anybody thought, and they're fun. And so I don't think they're going to win a ton of games this year, but I think they're going to be fun to watch and they're going to compete.
Here's the shame of it.
And they were getting run out of Nashville 2.5 hours ago.
Right. Here's the shame of it. I would be so excited as a fan to go to the game Thursday night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How fun would that be right now? Even at 1-1, because you're going to, and by the way, you're going to be favored against the Dolphins, I think.
I think you will be.
And
well, you should be.
Going into the season, they were underdogs against everybody. So there's a pot. So there's a lot. Gardner Minshew set a Jaguars franchise record as well today. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Is that 3 straight games of at least 3 touchdown passes?
Yes. Going back
he
to
did
last
against
year,
the Colts at the end of last year, Colts this year, and then today he threw 3 more.
Hey, just for the record, I think this is worth noting. That defense is supposed to be good.
Tennessee.
Yes. The Jags went up and down the field on them, and they stopped themselves.
Yes.
Colin Johnson put his hand up in front of a receiver and got a pick.
Yeah.
That one goes off the line, and also the sack. That was the only time they stopped them.
You know, speaking of Colin Johnson, and this is great, and this is good coaching, man. Okay, so let's listen to Doug Marrone. Let's pull him in here and see what he's got.
You know, at the end of the day, we fell short. So, you know, there's some things I think that, you know, we can improve upon, obviously, and we will. And, you know, we don't have a lot of time because we got this quick turnaround. So, you know, credit to Tennessee. You know, they were able to make some plays, and at the end of the day, we weren't able to make a play to get us over the top or stop a play. So that's where we are.
Thanks, Coach. All right, let's start with Hayes and then Gary Smits.
Doug, how did you see Miles's coverage on the PI from your vantage point and any replay you saw?
They told me that it was a hold, that when the ball went in the air, it turned into a defensive pass interference. I couldn't see early on in the route, and I had a bad view of it from where I was. But, you know, the back judge should have a great view of it. So.
And what did you learn about your team today?
I mean, that's just I know this team. I feel, like I said, I feel close to this team. So, you know, I think I look at this game as I know things that, you know, we've all got to do a better job of, that we can really help them out. And, you know, they can, you know, we could all come together, you know, coaches and players, and, you know, work our butts off and play football and make plays that, you know, we're able to win games. I think that's what's going on. I think as far as all the other stuff, all the cliches that, you know, you might want to say, hey, they came back, they worked hard. I never question that from this team. I really don't. So, you know, the unselfishness that they have, you know, this doesn't matter. I mean, they're trying to celebrate with each other and trying to get somebody to make a play every time. So, you know, like I said, we've got to just clean a couple things up and, you know, want a quick turnaround.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Hayes. Let's go to Gary and then Jamal.
Yeah, Doug, could you walk us through what the intention was on Josh's squib kick at the end of the first half and what he might have told you or Joe on the sideline?
I didn't see him on the sideline, you know, because I was more concerned about how we're going to manage, you know, saying the defense and knowing that, you know, they got great field position. But, you know, there's a lot of things, you know, there's going to be a desperate play at the end. There's going to be, you know, there's a lot of things that can go on. And we just felt comfortable during the week that, you know, we have it in every week where we just power kick it through. And, you know, we knew we were going to power kick it, which way we were going to go. And, you know, there's distance between those two players, and, you know, he's got to get in between it. I mean, he's a guy that works his butt off. You know, we have confidence in him, and it's just, you know, one of those things that, you know, it just wasn't executed right. It wasn't, you know, like, you know, trying to make something happen or anything like that. He just didn't get into the right area.
Okay. And give us a quick comment on James Robinson. He really, that second half, he was really a spark for you guys.
Yeah, I thought even the first half, a couple of those runs, they almost came out. And he's getting positive yardage, and he had really good catch, and I think what you guys are seeing now is probably what I've been seeing all the camp. Just real steady, good football player. If something's there, he's going to find it. He's not going to make mistakes and lose yardage for you or things of that nature, and try to keep the chains going. He's a tough runner. He's got a little burst, getting through the second level. I was happy to see him take that one, obviously to the end zone. But, he's solid. And you look at what Chris did on the route, that was an unbelievable catch by our other running back. I mean, that was outstanding, to score a touchdown there. It was a great throw. And those are just some of the things, like I say, some of the good things that, we need to try to create more of that and just do a better job.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Gary. All right, let's go to Jamal and then Mark Long.
Hey, Coach, obviously not the ending that you wanted, but, this is a young team that was down early. Did you learn anything about your team's resiliency? You have to be happy with the way they kind of fought back throughout the game.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it before. I really feel close to this football team, and you can see the chemistry on the team. You can see the way they work with each other and bring each other up and keep a mindset about themselves. And it's just like I said before, I knew this in camp. I think we've got to do a better job, us as coaches, to get them off to a good start, get them in position. So we'll work on that, because the one thing I don't worry about is, how hard they play.
And the batted pass at the end, Minshew's a shorter quarterback. Do you guys work a lot on making sure that he doesn't have those passes batted at the line?
Well, it's a combination of being able to throw through windows, throw through arms. I think, what happened, Tyler got held and he fell, on the play, and then, we're going to Cole, I believe. The guy got off the line, off the block, and, sometimes you can press a guy a little bit more, but sometimes you got to get through it. So it's a combination of a lot of things to, try to not get those things to happen. And then try to create them to happen, on our side.
Thanks, Jamal. All right, let's go to Mark and then John.
Hey, Doug, some of the issues you guys had, especially early, Clay Brooks with a couple of his muffs, and then Colin Johnson with the tip that ended up as an interception, wing guard coverage. Those are just growing pains by young players? Are you just going to have to deal with that maybe early on here, a little bit of that?
I don't know with Chris. That's the first time that I've really seen that from him. So I still have confidence, and we'll work a ton on it, going into the week. I think with Adam, I think, some of the, he was free, man coverage, the guys running across, he's at full speed. So, that's going to be tough. And, the first one, the touchdown, I thought that, we gave him too much time back there. That's difficult to cover. I think with Colin, I think, that, we could have gotten that ball maybe a little bit up for him. I think that he made a great effort in the end zone. So I think that these guys that are playing are going to continue to get better. I don't want to say, growing pains, because I really feel like, these guys can do it. They, even though they might be plays where, they may lose, and that's part of football. You just don't, everyone on that field, anyone that's ever played, is not going to win every single down that they play. And, they're going to keep coming back and creating better angles and putting them in better position and learning from it. So I think, overall, I think as our team, as we grow, we've got to learn from these things and continue to push to get better and get back on this winning side of things.
All right, let's take two more. Let's take John Shipley and then finish with Mia O'Brien.
Hey, Coach, on that third down play where Clowney nearly got the sack and it was incomplete, was it just a design to have Clowney come free off of the edge?
Who was that? Oh, yeah. Did you see the pressure? I mean, it's not designed. Yeah. They design it for us, So, I mean, you talking about the touchdown pass or the last one that was incomplete? Which one?
The third down that was incomplete where Clowney nearly got the sack on Minshew. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the same thing on the touchdown. You know what I'm saying? When they bring, we only have a certain amount of guys to block. When they bring more, we've got to go ahead and take care of the inside guys. So we just choose the shortest, path to the quarterback is the guy we're going to take, and he's on the outside, so he has the longest way to go. So, Gardner knows, what's going on. He knows the protection, so we know we've got to get rid of it. But that's the whole, the challenges or the chess game, or what you want to say. When they bring more guys, then you have blocking.
Thanks.
That is Doug Marrone, Jacksonville Jaguars coach, after a 33-30 loss on the road. Still can't win in Nashville. It's been since 2013. It was a gutty performance. I mean, the team is fun. They like their football team, but the bottom line, it's about wins or losses in the NFL.
Right.
So we can't couch it too much.
No.
They got to go make the plays. They had poor special teams today, and they should be way better than Tennessee in special teams. And a lot of teams, they were awful on defense for a long time, and then they just didn't make it. They made too many mistakes. Minshew with the 2 picks and that awful sack that he took, and those end up being huge.
You could argue that if they had won special teams, they might have won the game. The play they're referring to, Clowney went in untouched on Minshew, and he actually kind of did Gardner a solid because he could have annihilated him, and he just hit him pretty good and then shoved him.
Tony Baselli on the radio broadcast said that was a missed assignment by Jawan Taylor, most likely. He dove inside, and that's a bad time for a missed assignment.
Show us the stats from Minshew and Tannehill, because it's interesting. Gardner Minshew's playing great. Threw it 45 times. Like I said, it's 339 yards, 3 touchdowns, but 2 picks. But Tannehill, golly, I mean, his quarterback rating, like Gardner's was 92.8. Tannehill 145. I mean, we've got to get better pass defense, and part of that is being young in the secondary, Brent. But the pass rush, Josh Allen is MIA so far. K'Lavon Chaisson did get a sack today. However, I would suggest that was because they had a blitz and they picked up the other guy, and Chaisson pretty much went in untouched. Sacks are hard to come by, celebrate them, but we are not getting any pressure on at all through the first couple of games.
No, I mean, listen, Tannehill did a job, and they looked like they were in a really good rhythm offensively. You got to give those guys credit. I mean, they've made that offense look way better, and Tannehill has been better than I think he is, but he also had a lot of time to sit back there and throw the football. And Henry's a dangerous guy, so they
limited him. But they limited him.
I think the thing is this, and people aren't going to like me to say this because, again, I think you're fooling yourself if you think the defense is good.
It's not good.
And so that can't be the measuring stick. They're really not. Their whole offseason attempt was to stop the run.
The demand of the fan and everyone in that organization is it's not good, but it needs to improve.
It needs to improve.
It needs to improve week to week to week. They're young guys, a lot of young guys back there. So those young guys got to play better. Let's listen in now on Gardner Minshew.
Yep, Hayes, good to go. Hayes, you're muted.
All righty. Gardner, can you kind of walk us through just the final drive and what your vantage point was on the pass deflection?
Yeah, we felt really good going in that last drive. Got a few completions. That's always good to get it started the right way. That last one, it sucks. I feel like I had Keelan coming underneath, and ball got tipped up in the air. Just a bad way to lose. But, there's a lot of good, and we're going to learn from it and move forward.
What did you learn about your teammates today?
Yeah, you see our resilience when we're in there. But we also learned that we got to start faster, We don't need to be getting down 13 in the first place. I think if we jump out and play every quarter like we played that fourth, we're going to be a really, really good football team.
Great. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Hayes. We'll go to Jamal, and then we'll go to Mia O'Brien.
Hey, Gardner, you guys have said resilient and that there's no quit in the locker room a lot of times. And today you guys kind of put that on the field. Obviously, it didn't end the way you wanted it to. But, did you guys talk at all about that? When you got down a couple of scores, did you tell the guys on the offense anything?
No, it's one of those things that we know that's something we built for a while. I think we anytime we get in those situations, we don't hit panic mode. We don't start pointing fingers. We're just going to try to step up, do our job, and, support the team as best we can. And I feel like we did a lot of that on both sides of the ball today. And, should only get better.
And I know you want to get off to a faster start on Thursday. When do you start looking ahead to that Thursday game?
Probably watch this game on the plane ride home, and then we'll be on after that.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jamal. We'll go to Mia O'Brien, and after that, we'll go to Cassidy Hill.
Hey, Gardner, I know it's kind of a loaded question, but it's exactly 1 year after that last-minute Texans loss, week 2 last year. What did you learn? What was your approach in the days following that, the weeks, the months, that maybe you learned something last year that you're going to try to do differently this time?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing anytime you go through something like this is you remember that feeling, how bad it feels, how close you were. And you kind of channel that and use that when you're out at practice, when you don't really feel like practicing, and you channel that when you're in games and you can come back and you can win, and how good that winning feeling is.
And I'm just curious, for you and Jay, when you sat down and you watched last week, what was there on offense that you said we need to do differently this week so that we can have, 300 plus rush passing yards like you did today?
Yeah, last week I think on some of the plays that didn't work, got out of the pocket a little early. Was pretty accurate with the ball, but they didn't really give us many opportunities to take shots. We were able to get a few more off today. So that was good. And, it's a week by week. We're going to take what they give us. As long as we don't shoot ourselves in the foot, we could be a really, really good offense.
Thanks, Gardner.
Thanks, Mia. We'll go to Cassidy Hill, and then we'll finish with Demetrius.
Kind of piggybacking off that, was today a really good example of what Jay Gruden can do calling a game?
Yeah, no, he's great. He's going to put us in a situation to win. We had a lot of guys around the offense get the ball, step up, make plays with the ball in their hands. We're very excited to have Coach Gruden and, just to build on, the things we've done well so far.
And then in particular, the touchdown pass to Chris Thompson, how far down your progression was he? I think you started with LaVisca and Robinson in the backfield with you.
Yeah, no, he's kind of an alert right there. They're heating me up. Had a good matchup with him on linebacker, and that's a matchup we expect to win anytime we get Chris on linebacker.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cassidy. We'll finish up with Demetrius Harvey.
Hey, Gardner, just kind of walk us through that first interception where Colin and I think James was kind of right in the area. What did you see there and sort of what happened?
Yeah, I was throwing James on that corner, kind of flattening him off. And I don't blame Colin at all. He went out, he's trying to make a play. It was just super unlucky, man. Felt good with the ball, felt good with the decision. It's one of those deals. Sometimes the ball just doesn't bounce your way.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gardner.
Yep, appreciate it, guys.
Gardner Minshew meeting with the media. Listen, he made some terrific throws. I'm going to say this. This is what it reminds me of at the NFL level. I was telling you this in the breakout. I don't know if you agree, but I watched Danny Werfel for a long time in college, and he would throw to spots, man, and those guys would go get it. And Gardner has a better arm than Danny did, so it's the NFL level, but he's like almost the NFL version of me of Danny Werfel. I mean, those balls don't get there zip, but they get there and they're accurate as heck. And sometimes they're wobbling and stuff, but they hit him in the hands, man. He was very good
gorgeous
today.
throws. He had a little bit of everything today. And
yeah.
I'm getting hammered on Twitter for suggesting that I thought he had a couple of plays he was indecisive and they really hurt him. I mean, but that was just fact to me. But he started slow, Dan.
But when you throw it 45 times, he did start slow.
I thought the ball was coming out of his hand bad. I thought he was sailing it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he turned it around. That's what look at him in the second half.
Right.
Coming out of the gates in the third quarter, he's 9 for 9.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you love about this guy, and that's what he represents this team. And they never give in. And I tell you what, we're going to start asking this question around town.
Yeah.
Is he the guy?
Oh.
I mean, is he the guy? He's the best guy I've seen doing this in 10 years.
He's terrific. He's been terrific.
Here in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 6 touchdown passes in 2 games. And I tell you what else I love about the kid. But we said this all along. We saw this last year, the moxie in the fourth quarter. They had 14 points in the fourth quarter today.
Yeah.
They needed 17.
Yeah.
He flips a little bit of a switch or something, or gets him going, or there's something going on there. It's that it factor, that intangible, and that's terrific to have in your quarterback. Look, he's good. He's good, and he's earned the right to be the starting quarterback of the Jacksonville Jaguars. as far as I'm concerned, going forward.
Yeah, here's the deal now. It's a huge week coming up and a huge 2 weeks.
Yes.
Because the Jaguars get the Dolphins and the Bengals. And it's okay to be 1-1 right now. I think a lot of people would sign up for that.
Yeah.
But what are they going to look like at the end of this month, at this first quarter, these 4 games? You got winnable games. Now, listen, nothing's guaranteed for this football team. They don't have enough talent to say that. But they almost overcame bad special teams play, bad defense, and they didn't really get a lot of breaks.
Right.
They got some breaks last week here at home. Didn't really get them today.
Dolphins, and I don't know, Super Bowl Live, can you tell me the Dolphins score? They're playing the Bills. They had come back to take the lead. That game
Bills
was delayed.
just bounced back and took the lead.
Okay, so the Bills are in the lead. The Dolphins are a tough, hard-nosed group. 31-20 Buffalo?
No, yeah.
Okay, so they're
going to be 0-2.
Yeah, they're going to be 0-2. They're going to be coming up here, and the Jags are going to be favored to win that game. That's a positive step for this franchise.
Absolutely.
Considering where we were when we started the season and what we thought, I tip my cap again to the guys who put this team together, to the players, to the coaching staff. They've done a good job so far.
Yeah, so far so good. Hey, we have so much more coming up
and that's
tonight.
The other thing is you don't ever want to be satisfied, though, with
it does feel
mediocrity.
Like my guess is if you're watching us right now, it feels like, hey, that's a moral victory. And I just think you got to put it in perspective here.
Yeah.
It's the NFL. You're going to win some and lose some.
Yeah.
And what this season could have been at the start and what it is right now feels not bad around
The best news of all to me is, again, I'm enjoying the game.
It's real football. It's
I
fun.
love watching this team play.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I mean, I love Laviska Shenault.
Yeah.
And I've already got a man crush on Jay Gruden.
He's done a great job, man.
I mean, that's it.
Done a great job.
Hey, coming up, by the way, that game is on Fox 30 Thursday night, Miami and the Jags right here in town. We'll have a 90-minute pregame show for that one.
Well,
Get ready to work this
90's
week.
good.
Yeah,
Can we do 2?
Well, maybe. We'll see if we can
Maybe
talk
some
into
live hits during the newscast.
How about later on tonight, we do Action Sports Jags Primetime. It's coming up at 10:30 on Fox 30, 11:30 on CBS 47. We'll hear from some more Jags players on the loss, 33-30. We'll try to put it in perspective, and that's coming up a little bit later on tonight. For Dan Hicken, I'm
done.
Brent Martineau. Jags lose 33-30. Now 1-1, but we'll see you Thursday night at the bank.
It's the best local sports show in Jacksonville. Thanks for watching the Action Sports Jags Postgame Show, sponsored by Anajar and Levine, Accident Attorneys.